Welcome to the best of DSP, where we're going to do the short and snappy versions of my very, very long form videos. So we'll get all the juicy stuff without a lot of the deeper lore that a lot of you don't have time for. With that being said, enjoy the video.
And no, there is no video on YouTube literally for me telling people to click on ads. You're absolutely wrong.
Please go to my partner channel, The King of Hate HD, and click on the ads that show up on the videos there.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the tragic comedy of Darksydephil. And we're going to start with my personal favorite, his history with Google Adsense. And to start off, you might be wondering, hey, what is Google Adsense? Well, to answer that question, I'm going to let Frederick Knutson explain.
AdSense is the system that Google uses to distribute advertisements and pay content creators for their views and the number of times someone interacts with an ad or the video itself.
And it's also important to note that at this time, back in 2010, crowdfunding through things like PayPal and Patreon were not really a thing yet when it comes to YouTube. The main bread and butter when it comes to making money on YouTube was through ad revenue, and that was about it. So having issues with your AdSense account could pretty much destroy your ability to make money as a content creator on YouTube. Now in this next clip, you're going to see Phil give a pretty good summary of how he lost his Google AdSense in 2010. And he said during his MagFest panel in 2012.
To say it this way, the way that the YouTube partnership program works, like I said, it's based off of video views, but it's also based off of ad clicks. A hell of a lot of people clicked my ads that month because of what happened, and I made a pretty big wad of cash, all right? Not to say that that's how that program's supposed to work, but, you know, people saw I lost my job, they felt bad, they clicked the ads. So I thought, wow, this is great. I just made a lot of money, and if this keeps up, I can do this as my full-time job. Well, in the middle of December, YouTube contacts me and says, well, Phil, we feel that those ad clicks that you got last month were invalid. You're kicked out of the program. Goodbye.
Okay, and once he lost Google AdSense with no other easy pathway he could see, he decided to get a partnership with Blip TV, which was a rising competitor to YouTube back in 2010. And things were going reasonably well for him on Blip TV. He was making a decent amount of money until he completely fucked that up.
This is what happens when you let the Jews do whatever they want. You've let the Jews overrun space, and now look at this. Their greed has had the artifact to turn everyone into necromorphs. So now I, the last remaining Nazi, must exterminate them. Hello, Jew.
I'm only gonna I'm only gonna play that one piece because it speaks for itself. It gets worse. After his ban on Blip TV, he then got partnerships with Machinima and then later on Curse Entertainment, which allowed him to temporarily avoid the issue of his broken AdSense account. And then when he tried to switch over to a new MCN, by then the rules had changed, which meant that he needed a valid AdSense account in order to sign up with an MCN. And to try to solve that problem, he decided to, quote-unquote, bend the rules, shall we say. And this did not end very well, as you can see right here.
You can only legally own one Google AdSense account. Period. You can only own one. You can't have more than one AdSense account. It's not allowed per the terms and conditions of Google.
Okay, now we just heard Darksydephil say you can only have one AdSense account.
So I was doing this, and I did it both for DSP Gaming and for KO Gaming. First, I did it for DSP Gaming. I said, create a new Google AdSense account for DSP Gaming and associated with it. Filled out all the appropriate info, okay? Submitted it, all right? And then it went down, and YouTube said, okay, your account is now ready for our review.
You heard that right. Literally, just like 2 seconds after he said you can't have more than one AdSense account. What does he try to do? He says, oh, I tried to create some new AdSense accounts for KO Gaming and for DSP Gaming, so that way I'd be all set. Well, you can take a wild guess as to how well this worked out.
Thank you for your interest in Google AdSense. While reviewing your application, we noticed you already have an account with the information that matches the account you're trying to create here, and that AdSense is associated with KO Gaming. Since our AdSense program policies do not permit multiple accounts, we're unable to accept your new application at this time.
So with the possibility it might lose monetization on YouTube, Phil went into panic mode.
Am I expecting to get any kind of an intelligent answer or help? No, I'm not. I am screwed, everyone. I don't know what to do.
Luckily for Phil, Curse took him back into the partner program. Alright, with that out of the way, we're going to move on to the last major section of the Adsense Fiasco, which was when he got fired from Curse.
Once Curse released my channel today while I was streaming, YouTube flagged the channel and said it cannot be monetized because of invalid click activity. Now that's erroneous because there is no invalid click activity. The channel was used previously with Curse and had no problems. What happened is last year YouTube changed their policy for monetization on YouTube and said if you want to be partnered with any partnership company, you need to have a personal AdSense account associated with your YouTube channel. Created a new AdSense account for DSP Gaming, but I already had an AdSense account for my vlogging channel. In the meantime, I got partnered. Everything was fine for the last year and a half on my DSP Gaming channel. I had ads through Curse. But now what happened is that dummy account that I created just to get partnered with Curse apparently got flagged and deactivated.
Okay, so right there, him just saying, "Oh, it's a dummy account," is like he's just brazenly admitting that he just created a fake account, a bullshit account, just to try to violate terms of service and to do ban evasion. The fact that this alone didn't get him kicked off of AdSense is astounding to me. I mean, he openly admitted that he was creating "quote-unquote" dummy accounts, so that way he could get back into an MCN. It will never cease to amaze me how dumb this guy is. Okay, so did Phil break Google Adsense terms of service? Let's watch these clips.
There's no video on YouTube literally for me telling people to click on ads. You're absolutely wrong. Tamanese just said that in the stream chat. You are wrong. Saying, well, what did I say? Comment, rate, and participate does not mean click on ads.
Please go to my partner channel, The King of Hate HD, and click on the ads that show up on the videos there, because hopefully, fingers crossed, that actually starts giving me some money.
And how do you think that Phil would react when he was confronted on the fact that there was a video on his own YouTube channel, the whole face reveal video, saying to go to The King of Hate HD and click on the ads?
All right. Jay Kramer just cheered. He says, I have to ask Phil, don't jump down my throat. What is that clip from many years ago? Where you apparently I asked people to click on ads. I don't remember that. Now, maybe it exists. I've addressed this before in the past. I don't remember ever specifically saying, go click an ad. I remember, if you guys remember, what I used to say was watch, rate, and participate. And by the way, I did that for 3 months over the course of the end of 2010, and then I stopped saying that altogether. So it was 3 months where I said watch, rate, and participate. And by the way, I should bring this up yet again. Okay, I should. I did not get any disciplinary action against me at all ever for doing that. Ever. All right, ever. If you don't know, people don't seem to understand. What is invalid click activity? What that means is that basically a bot got involved and clicked on an advertisement on YouTube. That's what it means. And that's people for years, ever since that happened, have literally made that up and said Phil got disciplinary action against him on YouTube because he said to do this. No, that's not why it happened. It's because they said that people were going in with bots and mass clicking the ads. And how do you prove that? How do you disprove that? You can't prove or disprove that shit. It's impossible to prove or disprove anything like that.
So right there you saw, first off, he can't admit, and this is 2018, he can't admit 9 years after he said it. He can't just come out and say, yes, I said it. 9 years later, he still can't admit it. That's amazing. And then second of all, you see him misrepresent the terms of service. Just flat out, just comes out and he just completely misrepresents by saying, invalid click activity, that just means a bot got in and started clicking your ads like crazy. Okay, here's the Google Adsense terms of service regarding invalid click activity. So we're going to start with the highlighted section. Invalid click activity is determined by Google in all cases. That includes, but is not limited to, spam, invalid inquiries, invalid clicks on ads generated by any person, bot, automated program, or similar device, including through any clicks or impressions originating from your IP address, computers under your control, clicks solicited, or impressions generated by payment of money, false representation, or request for end users to click on ads or take other actions. These kinds of denials don't stop here. They continue for quite a while.
Now, the other hilarious part about all of this is you got these moronic conspiracy theorists who are in the stream chat right now, and they're saying, but Phil, you did ask people to click on your ads on YouTube. Yeah, when was that video made? Think about this. There was a video made, it was my face reveal video, from the first half of 2009, excuse me. So the first half of 2009, I did a vlog with a face reveal video, and I very stupidly said in that video, one of the ways to help me out would be, I think I said, I might have said to click on the ads, I don't remember, okay? I know that I basically said something about interacting with ads or clicking on ads, okay? That video was put out in the first half of 2009, and never once was I ever contacted by YouTube to say, oh, you broke our terms of service by doing this. The video was never taken down. The video is still live on the internet to this day. You can still watch it in its entirety, right? I never had any negative consequences as a result of that video, okay? So the hilarious stupidity of idiots who just want to parrot stuff and say, oh, the reason that Phil lost his AdSense in late 2010 is because of this video where he said to click on that. The video was out for a year and a half, you dingus. A year and a half. No negative repercussions happened a year and a half later as a result of a vlog that, you know what I mean? No, what happened was I lost my job, people felt bad, and they went and they clicked on those ads to try to help me out at that point. That's what happened. It had nothing to do with the video a year and a half before.
Hey, if you're enjoying the video, remember to like and subscribe to the channel. And you see there, Phil still just can't come out and say it in 2019. So again, we're talking 10 years, we're talking 10 and a half years from the day that he said click on the ads. He still can't admit that he has said it. He still just can't say it. He said, "Oh, I might have said it," and also he's bringing up an excuse of saying, "Oh, that was a year and a half ago." So therefore, they didn't ban me outright. They didn't ban me until a year and a half. Therefore, that can't possibly have anything to do with it. Which is like the dumbest argument in the world, because I mean, literally sometimes it takes like 10 or 20 years for somebody to be arrested and convicted for murder. Does that mean they didn't commit the murder? No, of course not. But now we're going to move on to the final denial, where like this is the first time I could find that Phil tackles the issue head on. And this is like the strongest, defense Phil gives.
Here's what really happened, the full story, in context, okay? So, I already had an AdSense account that existed since 2009, all right? On the King of Hate HD channel, every video had been monetized. In fact, I had made a video to reveal my face for the very first time in 2009. But I remember specifically, in that video, I said something that I should not have said. I said, I'm paraphrasing here, hey, one way that you can really help me out, if you want to help me, with the cost of the games that I'm buying to play on Darksydephil, is you can click on the ads on my videos. I remember specifically I said it. It's in black and white. It's, I said it in 2009. Yes, I shouldn't have done that. Absolutely, positively, 100%. It's documented. It happened.
We're going to stop right there, because right here he basically admits that he was lying for the past 10 years. He says, "I remember specifically saying it." So he openly admits that for like over a decade he was lying his ass off about like, "Oh, I might have, I don't remember." No, he knew full well. Come on.
However, what Mr. Knudsen is saying is that in late 2010, my AdSense account was deactivated. Actually, he says it was completely removed or canceled, all right? As a result of me asking my viewers to click on the ads, okay? This is incorrect. I'm going to tell you exactly what happened, all right? I had ads on my videos all 2009 and 2010 on the King of Hate HD. I had said what I said at the beginning of 2009 in that video. YouTube didn't care. People mass reported the video. YouTube didn't care. You want to know why YouTube didn't care? Because it didn't result in any ridiculous over-the-top clicking of ads anywhere. It didn't. It just didn't equate to anything like that, okay? So because of that, YouTube didn't give a shit.
Now, I'm just going to say one thing before we continue here, is that Phil has not once ever shown a single piece of evidence that he was mass reported or that anybody complained at all to Google about him saying click the ads.
Now, when I lost my job in late 2010, I started a catchphrase that I said in all of my videos. Watch, rate, and participate. Back then, there has a rating system where it was stars. It wasn't thumbs up, thumbs down. Just so you guys know, that's what rate meant. It wasn't like it is today. So when I started saying this in all my videos, hey, thanks a lot, guys. If you want to support, please watch, rate, and participate. That's as far as it ever went. Never once did I say anything about ads at all. Okay? Of course, some people would say things, hey, does it hurt if I use ad blocker when I watch your videos? And I would outright say, yes, it does. Please don't. If you support me, please don't have an ad blocker on. Okay? But I never outright asked for that. After the initial time that I erroneously said it in 2009, it never happened again because people caught me out for it. And I was like, oh shit, I gotta watch what I say. I want to be able to make this supplemental income to afford games and things. I gotta be careful. I don't want that taken away from me.
Now, remember what he just said right there. He said, after the initial time in 2009, I never said click on the ads ever again. The problem is that the one thing that Phil and Baby Diapers have in common is that they're usually full of shit. And we know he's full of shit because he said it literally 2 months before he lost his AdSense account, when he was doing a Q&A video in September of 2010, almost a year and a half after he said he never said it ever again.
Let me tell you this, I appreciate every donation that I get. All of them go towards equipment and things for my videos, and all the merchandise that people buy, and people who go and they're nice enough to go on my partner channel and watch those videos and click the ads and things like that. Anything that I make off of this, I'm extremely appreciative of.
So you just saw it right there. And by the way, this was from Phil's own channel, the King of Hate HD back then. That's where this was originally came from. So he uploaded this video himself. But he's openly saying click the ads. And this was only about 2 months before he lost his AdSense and before people started clicking his ads like crazy. Ah, jeez. So I think it's pretty safe to say that not only is Phil a terrible liar, but also that Phil is 100% to blame for losing Google AdSense. I think we've made that pretty clear. You don't get very far in life by trying to lie and cheat and skirt the rules. It's very rare that it ends well, as we can see right here. Hi guys, if you want to see the long version of the Google Adsense Fiasco, click on the left. It's about 50 minutes long. If you want to see Phil being an insufferable man-child, click on the right. And as always, remember to like, subscribe, and ring the bell. We'll see you next time.